What's up? This is the Outisan E-Wagon Air, and more specifically, it's my little filmmaking sidekick. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this thing. So a lot of you guys might sensibly be typing away in the comments, is this guy really about to review a wagon? Well, it's not a wagon, it's an E-Wagon, and yes, yes I am. When they reached out to me, I went on their website and looked it up, and I was like, I don't know, do I really want to talk about a wagon? But in looking at it, I immediately started to see like, oh, wait a minute, I feel like this could actually be useful lugging around gear on productions. So that's what I've been doing with this cart. I have been taking it on various different productions and using it for my own personal filmmaking. And the best part is it is very portable and it makes moving gear a breeze. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about everything that makes this E-Wagon special and weirdly interesting. So let's go ahead and talk about the overall build design and the quality of the materials itself. The first and foremost thing about it is that it does have a really robust collapsible metal frame. And that's actually one of the biggest things, is that it is portable and can be broken down and built up in seconds, literally like 3 seconds. All you have to do is take off the little safety strap and then pull the two ends apart and they'll lock into place and you're deployed. And then to collapse it down, all you have to do is press on the 2 locking buttons and then collapse it back down together. And then of course, put the little safety strap back on. So I really do like that design. Additionally, the wheels themselves have this really awesome hard rubber tread, so it can actually drive over some pretty rough terrain. I did roll it up onto this rock. It may be a little bit extreme for rugging gear around. I don't know that you're gonna do this unless you're specifically trying to show it off, but it does seem to handle rough terrain pretty dang well. Additionally, on the front of this thing, it does have a light bar, so if you're at the end of your shoot at the end of the day and you're lugging around gear at night, it's going to have just that little extra safety feature, which is pretty cool. Now you don't need a flashlight specifically. And really the most important feature of it is how much weight can this thing actually haul. So at maximum capacity, at least the advertised maximum capacity, it is 300 pounds. So you're able to lug around 300 pounds of gear, and you're also able to pull it with just the weight of your one finger, essentially pushing on a button, which is pretty freaking awesome. And then completely empty, it's not entirely light, I'll be completely upfront. It's about 40 pounds on its own, but you do have to consider the fact that it has a battery pack and all the electronics that go into it. And also it definitely carries its own weight because of the motors, but it does weigh 40 pounds on its own. Oh, and I should also mention that this thing is waterproof. It's IP66 rating. So if you need to drive it through puddles or water splashes on it, maybe even a little bit of rain, it's gonna hold up just fine. I wouldn't maybe recommend dunking it in a swimming pool. That might be a little too far. And not for nothing, this isn't a ton of gear that's in here. It's not exactly easy to push this wagon on this type of terrain on its own. I mean, definitely when you get it going, it's not so bad, but yeah, I wouldn't want to push this for any length of time. But if we turn it on, now it pushes itself. And I don't know if you can tell how much I'm not straining. Now, the thing about this thing that's really cool is that it's not just a motor that goes burr when you push the button, right? If I push the button, it's not really doing anything, right? It's because that this thing has some smart algorithms in it. So it knows, am I pushing this way or am I pulling this way? So the motors are going to work with you. Almost if you've used an electronic e-bike, it works very similar to that, which is pretty great. Also, the motors are individualized for the wheels. So like my buddy Evan was saying, because he knows cars better than me, it works kind of like traction control. So if it feels like one of the wheels are slipping, it'll compensate for that and spin the wheel more or less depending on what it needs. So this is really where a lot of the expense of this wagon probably comes in, is all the technology that goes into making it work with you and not against you. Now, while it can roll on dirt just fine, I have noticed that if it's really loose dirt, sometimes the wheel will just continuously spin because it is thinking that it's slipping. So on really loose dirt, maybe it doesn't work the absolute best, just to be completely upfront with you guys with this thing, but it is able to roll up and down it. So if you wanted to, you could just roll it up to where it needs to go and then turn it off before it tries to run away. So as you guys can see, I'm literally using one finger to haul this cart up this incline. And one of the key things about it, again, is that it is using this smart algorithm. So it knows, even though I'm on this incline, that, hey, maybe I shouldn't roll away. And just to prove that I'm on an incline, if I turn it off, see you later. So yeah, it works pretty good. Jeez. I should turn this on. So let's go ahead and talk about range of the Outisan E-Wagon Air, because if the battery only lasts about half an hour, that's actually would be pretty disappointing. Well, luckily this thing has a range of about 9 miles, which I think is pretty dang good. Honestly, if you're moving your gear more than 9 miles, I feel really bad for you. Now, if for some reason you do need more power, the battery is interchangeable. So if you wanted to have an extra battery on hand, you could and load that in. Or the battery charges from 0 to full in roughly 3 hours, I would say. So you could haul in your gear in the morning and then top off your battery during the shoot. And then by the end, when you need to take all the gear down and pack up, it's ready to go. So I think the range of 9 miles is plenty. So at the end of the day, the Outisan E-Wagon Air, it's a luxury, let's face it. Could I cart everything around all day long and, you know, live? Yes, I've done it before. It's not my favorite, but I've done it before. But the real reason of this thing is like, hey, let's just make set life as easy as possible, right? Let's not complicate our lives, and let's honestly save our backs as well. So the Outisan E-Wagon Air, if it's something that you can afford and you're doing production all day long, carting things around, or maybe you just have a PA that you really like and you don't want to stress him out all day, I think the Outisan E-Wagon Air is probably a worthy investment. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you did, yes, I did review a wagon. It's pretty weird, but I don't know, it's pretty cool. I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys.